大家好，我係味遊法國嘅 Yolanda。今日咧就同大家嚟到呢個法國文化協會做咩呢？就想同大家介紹下香港嘅法國盛事。咩盛事？就係第51屆香港法國電影節。咁咧，我哋好高興咧，就請到法國文化協會嘅 Executive Director Mr. Attié 咧，同我哋介紹一下嘅。Good afternoon, Mr. Attié. Thank you so much for receiving us today. And the last time you told me that there's going to an excited, event in Hong Kong. It's the Hong Kong French Film Festival. Can you tell us more about it?
Yes, of course. Thank you for inviting me as well. And the Hong Kong French Film Festival runs from the 23rd of this November until the 13th of December, like every year, more or less. 3 weeks of French cinema, of the most the newest French cinema, and the retrospectives and old films as well.
Wow, very excited. And is there any theme of the year? I think every year you have a theme. Maybe this year
theme
also?
On the retrospective usually, because we can curate the films following an ID. For the films of the year, it's really, we try to choose the best of the cinema to come and of the year in French cinema. So we usually select about 40 films of the year about to be released in France, or that have been released in the year. So we have 40 films on that. And you have after a retrospective, so we have 2 retrospectives, one around Claire Denis artwork, which is a very singular cinematographer, and 3 homage and in praise of lost artists like Jean-Louis Trintignant, Gaspard Ulliel. So in praise of Jean-Luc Godard, Jean-Louis Trintignant, and Gaspard Ulliel.
That's good. So it's a lot of selection for us. And what is the highlights, for you? Maybe there is an opening and the closing movie. So which are they?
We have 3 opening movies actually.
3
not closing, but 3 openings. Yes.
3 opening movies.
One around Simone Weil, who was a very famous character in France, a very powerful woman. She was the first elected president of the European Parliament, for example, in 1979, and she's a very famous character in France. So there's a biopic about her and her life. The second opening is at the M+ Cinema for a Claire Denis retrospective, and the third one is on the Friday 25th. It's around Notre Dame on fire.
Notre Dame on fire?
Dame, exactly.
That is the one, it's a highlight too, right?
Yeah, it's a highlight. Frankly, a great movie by Jean-Jacques Hano. The Name of the Rose, all those movies that he did in the last 30 years.
Oh, so we have to go to see it, huh? And if, during these 3 weeks, the film festival, which one or maybe which films you are going to see yourself, or any film that you can recommend to us?
Of course, yeah. I've seen all the movies for the selection with the team. We watch all movies.
Wow,
we watch usually about 200 movies to select 60. Wow. So it's a hard work. So I would recommend all the movies we selected. We loved it, or we liked them. So, but there are some highlights amongst the 56 movies we have. I would recommend mostly there are movies like Simone that we talked about, Notre Dame on Fire, which is like a docu-fiction, and at the heart of the burning of Notre Dame a few years ago. That shocked the world, and it's a very removing movie. And you have films more like Colors of Fire, Les Couleurs de l'Incendie in French, which is adapted from a novel, a very famous novel in France. And so it happens in the 20s and 30s, so the costumes are nice, the deco, and so. There are movies like Driving Madeleine. That's a very nice movie.
Yes, I heard about it. This one I absolutely have to go to see.
With Lynn Renault and Danny Boone, very famous characters in France. Lynn Renault appears in Call My Agent, the TV series.
Yes. Call My Agent, very famous.
Yeah, exactly. And you have movies like more for the family, like Heart of Oak, Le Chêne in French. And it's just also to give a bite on nature, discovering the ecosystem around a tree, because a tree is like a living body, and with all the environment around it, animals, insects, and so on. And it's a marvelous documentary to discover with the family, with the kids, and it's nice to go to cinema with kids as well. Movies like Little Nicholas, Happy as it Can Be. Also, Jean-Jacques Sampé, the creator of Petit Nicolas, passed away this year. He was very old and he passed away, and so it's a kind of homage also to him. And it's a fantastic animation movie with the creation of Le Petit Nicolas and how it went on the paper and the first stories. And you have movies, if I can insist on that, right above, Tempête. It's a story of a young girl that gets injured by a horse, but that she has the resilience to go on after and to chase a dream of running a horse race. So it's around horse racing and so on. It's a very beautiful and also family movie that can be watched.
And also very motivating, right?
Very motivating as well. You have movies for that are human, The Perfect Man. It's a very funny comedy.
Really? Wow.
About a man robot, in a family. That's the perfect man arriving in a family. So it's really funny.
Too.
It's really funny. It's worth looking. And Pierre-François Martin Laval attended the festival a few years ago. He came for the festival in 2019. So he's a very famous actor and director in
Absolutely
France.
have to go to watch.
Exactly. And last one, maybe a romantic, because French is also romance. Waiting for Bojangles. That's a movie, En attendant Bojangles. It's based on a book as well. And it's a fantastic love story between the characters and a bit crazy, but really, really interesting.
Wow! So there's a lot of choice. Huh?
Yeah. Totally.
So we have fun, during these 3 weeks and to see the French movies, and not going to France, but we can still taste France in Hong Kong. Thank you so much, Mr. Attié.
You're welcome.
Thank you. 聽完 Mr. Attié 嘅介紹，咁嚟緊嘅11月同12月咧，大家就唔好錯過呢個香港法國電影節啦。嗱，咁大家記得咧就係 subscribe 同埋 like 我嘅 channel，味遊法國啦。